So, did you know that our brothers and sisters are still serving Nimrod to this day? They just call him something else. For instance, Christmas. Where'd that come from?
It's a pagan holiday.
But where did it come from? I got you. Watch this. Real quick, Jeremiah 10:1. I'm about to show you this is pre-Babylonian. Pre-Babylonian, right? So we're going ancient. Give me Jeremiah 10:1. Because now our brothers and sisters got to see that the deities or the gods of old, we are serving them and not the one true God. So think about a relationship. If I was in a relationship with my wife, and my wife is giving all her attention to other people and not me, how you think I'm gonna feel? I'm gonna also feel jealous. And what does jealousy produce?
Anger.
And what does anger produce?
Betrayal.
Somebody dying. Somebody is dying. That's the level that God is at right now. His people was supposed to serve him, but they're worshiping other deities outside of him. What he gonna do? People gotta die now. Bodies gotta hit the floor. Because he is upset. And rightfully so. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 1. Hear ye the word, the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
So the astrology, going into horoscoping, we're not supposed to be involved in that stuff. That's witchcraft. The craft of that which is called ether or air. You're not supposed to be involved in that. Why? Because you're messing with entities that God set up, but you're messing with them without a buffer. And you know what's going to happen to a person that do that? You either become a witch either off of curiosity or spite. That's how it happens. Once you become that, now you're going to get hemmed up. Because you're going to make that sacrifice that ain't supposed to be made, and now your life is on the line. Now you paranoid. Now you seeing things. And you are seeing things because you're peering into a different veil. All that stuff, is it real? Yes, it is. 100%. That's why God say don't mess with it. But let's read it again.
Learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
So when an eclipse happens, when certain stars align and they saying, oh, this means this, or it means that, or the year of the dragon, or the year of the horse, or the year of the cat, or Pisces, all this stuff is of the other nations, is heathen. We're not supposed to be following in that stuff. Even birthdays goes down that rabbit hole. Read.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
That meaning they fear it. Dismay means to fear something in point to worship or reverence it. A lot of people, when the eclipse happened, you had all these Negro scientists come out of nowhere saying the eclipse is the black sun. The eclipse is this. The eclipse is that. Negro, you didn't know nothing about no eclipse. You saw something on YouTube and you went down a rabbit hole of destruction. So you got to be real. God has everything in the Bible. Eclipses as well. What they mean and everything. Read.
For the customs of the people are vain.
They're what?
Are vain.
I was going to name a custom. Read.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
You got to tell me, sis. Which custom is this? Read.
The work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
So he's cutting a tree out of the forest with an axe.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They decorate that tree with silver and gold.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not.
So they fasten the bottom so it don't move. It stays stationary. Read.
They are upright as the palm tree.
Huh, wait a minute. What holiday is that? What? Oh, okay. And this is during Jeremiah's time. Jeremiah was during the Babylonian time period. Nimrod was during ancient Babylon, before Egypt. They were still serving Nimrod at this time, but they used palm trees at that time. Today, we use evergreen trees. Why? Because the white man said so. The white man learned this custom and pushed it to the masses in United States. Did you know that Christmas was outlawed in United States?
I just stopped celebrating last year.
It was outlawed, but then they pushed it because a lot of pagans started to get into office. Just like now, they're pushing a LGBT gay agenda now, because a lot of them are getting into those positions of power. So, if Christmas was outlawed, is it really of Christ or God? If this is a Christian, sanctified nation, it's not. Because Jeremiah is telling of a custom at that time that was vain. And they're doing what? Raising up a tree. So now we have to question a lot of stuff that was taught to us. And we have to filter it through what? The Bible. Because now the Bible's saying Christmas is evil. So what you gonna do now? You have to replace it with something, right? It's for the kids, right? Let me see. I'm gonna show you what you replace it with. Leviticus 23 now. So now every holiday, because that's what we call them. Holidays are man-made holidays, because holly means holy or separate. Now with these holidays that they create, it's always an inversion of what God really intended it to be. Watch this. I'm gonna show you the holidays that we're supposed to celebrate as the children of God. These are days that God made for us. Read.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord.
What?
The feast of the Lord.
A holy day.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations.
Holy convocations mean the holy or the Israelites are gathering together. That's the holy convocation. Read.
Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done.
So it's a feast he's about to explain. Read.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
So this high holy day happens every 7 days.
Sunday.
I want you to look at your calendar. What's the first day of the week?
Sunday.
What's the last day of the week? So where does God's high holy day fall on? What is today? You tell me, sis.
It's been a busy week out.
What's today? If today, no, today is Saturday. So if today is Saturday, you just said out of your own mouth. Okay. You just said out your own mouth today is Saturday. It just said that this high holy day happens every 7 days. 6 days you work, on the 7th day you rest. Right? So by deduction, sis, by deduction, Brian, I would say that Saturday is the Sabbath, correct? So that means that there are certain things that we must do to keep this day separate or holy from the other days. Does that make sense? Because holy just means separate or set apart. It's different. That's all it means. So now, what things should we do on the Sabbath to keep it different from all the other 6 days?
Rest.
Rest? What else?
Fast.
You can fast any day. It's not a must that you fast. Something that you must do every Sabbath. Huh?
You said something you must do every Saturday.
Yes, sir. You can pray every day.
Yeah,
You're actually supposed to pray every day.
go to church, worship, Judah.
All right, let's see. Let's see what we must do. Every Saturday. Read that.
Verse 3. 6 days shall work be done.
No. What is that? Exodus 16? Yeah, read.
Exodus chapter 16, verse 23. And he said unto them, that which the Lord hath said, tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which you will bake, today and see that which you will see, and that which remaineth lay up for you to be kept until the morning.
So now, this is the day before.
You gotta put that Sunday.
So that means, no, the day before you prepared, it says you bake what you bake today. So that means on that day is before the Sabbath. So that will be Friday. So he's telling, that's the preparation day. So he's telling Moses, hey, tell my children, they can bake anything they want to bake on Friday. They can seethe or boil anything that needs to be boiled on Friday. But on God's Sabbath, you're not supposed to cook. That's why I say overlay up into the morning.
And not be cooking.
So you're not supposed to cook on God's Sabbath day. So no fire is supposed to be kindled on God's Sabbath day. What else? Go to Exodus 20 real quick. 20 and 8. Read that real quick.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So you see how it says remember? That means that you was going to forget at one point in time. Read.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy maidservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Now, God said we're not supposed to do any work on God's Sabbath day. On his Sabbath day. Think about it. This is a holy day that we're not supposed to do any work. Our brothers and sisters shouldn't be out here selling, buying and selling. They shouldn't be out here doing none of that stuff. Why? Because it's God's holiday today. It's the Sabbath. So now we understand we're not supposed to cook on God's Sabbath day. We're not supposed to work on God's Sabbath day. We're not supposed to buy or sell anything on God's Sabbath day. You got that, Nehemiah? Read that.
Nehemiah chapter 10 verse 31. And the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath.
So right there, if we don't buy it of them on the Sabbath day, that's a boycott, sis. That's a boycott. Every Sabbath, we're not supposed to buy or sell anything. That's going back to our heritage. If we remain out of our heritage, we can be exploited by the other nations, and that's what's happening now. 4th of July is not our Independence Day. You know what's our independence? Passover. God actually God actually killed the Egyptians for our freedom. That's our Independence Day, not July 4th. We were still in chains. We were still doing this July 4th. We was being sold July 4th. So why is it that our people celebrate their own destruction? Because of ignorance of self. They don't know who they are. They don't know who their God is. And some of them don't even care.
The old said, you want a black person to not know something. Put it in the book.
Is it true?
Yeah.
This book has been on many grandmama's kitchen tables for eons.
And we ain't try to read it.
And ain't read a lick. Have you heard about this stuff, sis? About God saying, don't celebrate Christmas? Have you heard about God saying, I have high holy days for you to celebrate? We have a dress code that we must adhere to. We have civility
got a
laws.
picture with the white guy. It's the white guy, but the black guy eyes. So when you open the picture, it's a black guy behind it. Like, it's a white man, but when you open it up, it's a black man behind it.
But isn't that confusion? Because you really don't know. Then it's like up in there like, oh, he could be any color. And that's not what the scripture says.
Man, as soon as I seen you walk up, I said, man, that remind me of what the scripture.
There you go right there. His hair was white like that.
But people don't. Think about it, sis. It's been over 2,000 years before Christ physically walked the earth, right? This man was the greatest revolutionary to ever live and to ever walk on this planet. You know why? He was so revolutionary that because he died, we got granted back into the fold. I know I'm part of the Northern Kingdom. If Christ wouldn't have died for us, we would be lost due to idolatry. In the law, if you was in the midst of idolatry, you had to die for it. My whole nation got cast off because we was in the midst of idolatry. That means Southern Kingdom was not accepting us as their own people, even though we flesh and blood, we wasn't them. They did not mess with us. But when Christ died, that ushered in a new era for us to get the kingdom back again. So with that understanding, we all got to return back to say, wait a minute, if this revolutionary lived 2,000 years ago, and now people think that this revolutionary is him, that's the same as me saying 100 years from now, people gonna think Malcolm X is a white man, people gonna think Martin Luther King is a white man, because they're gonna change, they're gonna start changing the image. They did it with our greatest leader. What do you think they ain't gonna do it for them? You see what I mean? So that's why it's very important that we must go back to the past. We must learn from our elders before they leave this earth. We gotta learn from them. We gotta come back to this Bible, because if we don't, we're gonna die here. I don't know about you, sis. I wanna go back home where God promised our people to be. We're supposed to be in Jerusalem, and you know what's our stumping yard? This entire planet belongs to us. So I don't know about you. Being on the bottom, struggling to pay bills, working the job you don't want to work, that's a curse. The royalty of God should not be in a life like that. I'm gonna just be real with you. That's why when brothers and sisters they be passing away or dying and things like that, everybody feel sorrowful for them. It's like, they in a better case than we are. They don't have to worry about none of this stuff no more. But we down here pitching a fit because we can't even pay bills. We killing each other for money. We're killing each other for women. It's stupid. When are we gonna start applying God's law again? When? When? What must it take?
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example.